What bees make milk?
I don't know.
Boobies.
Real questions. Real answers. Dear Brian.
Welcome back to Dear Brian, the only show that answers all your burning questions in life. And today, as always, I'm joined by my Kemosabi, Brian. Brian, how are you today?
Great.
All right, well, let's get right to it. Our first question comes from Arnie from Lafia, Nigeria. He writes, what do you do if you've just taken a shit in a public toilet and discovered there's no toilet paper?
Oh, God. Well, that's the worst. First, you got to check. Well, it's Nigeria. Isn't that common suit?
I'm sure there's a shortage.
Okay. You might have to go to the sink. You might have to get some water.
You can't, like, cup your hand and...
You're going to have to bidet your ass from the sink.
A good old-fashioned sink bidet. That's
Yeah.
the answer. I love it. Hopefully there's running water, too.
Yeah, if there's no running water, you're fucked.
Call out for help.
Yeah.
All right. Good question, though. Excellent. All right. Next question comes from Boon Nan from Phatthalong, Thailand. Writes, is it okay to wear socks and flip-flops?
Absolutely not. That's the biggest fashion faux pas ever.
Not a good look.
No, that's the worst look in the world. Socks and shoes, no socks, flip-flops. That should be the rule.
It's like wearing a G-string on the outside of your clothes.
It's a bad look.
Plus, it's got to be super humid in Thailand, so I can't imagine wet socks is going to be feeling very good either. So
Sweaty socks, yeah. They're horrible.
Moving on to Orhan from Arkadikin, Turkey. Is it okay to shave your legs if you're a man?
No, not if you identify as a man. Or you're an Olympic swimmer. If you're an Olympic swimmer, you get a pass. Everyone else, no.
There you go.
Yeah, or maybe a bodybuilder can get away with it because they have a competition. But other than that, no.
All right. So you either got to be an Olympic swimmer or a buff-ass bodybuilder so you can defend yourself if people make fun of you.
Right.
And you have to identify as a man. All right. Moving on to the next question. I have Helga from Schoppenstedt, Germany writes, if you go to the barbecue and the host is burning the food, is it okay to just take over the barbecue?
It depends how drunk that person is. If they're really drunk, yes. But if they're sober and it's their house, no.
You just got to smile and eat burnt food?
Yeah, you just got to like go get some pickup. Order some Dorsendash. If they have DoorDash in Germany, you order DoorDash and that'll send the hint like your food sucks.
Get the Dorsendash and get rid of the burnt food. But yeah,
right.
Good question. Thanks, Helga. All right, moving on to Abdul from Passput, Afghanistan writes, what do you do if you're on a Tinder date and the person looks nothing like their picture?
Oh, so the Tinder in Afghanistan where all the women have hijabs anyways.
Those are not the eyes I was looking at.
Yeah, I don't know when you meet them, they're going to be in the hijab anyway.
Can you give me one of these real quick?
Yeah, I know. I know.
That's not you. That's a mustache.
I don't understand how that happens, but I mean, if it is somebody different, then you gotta just kind of drive up, take a look, and bounce.
Yes, it opens the door for catfishing on a whole new level, right?
Right.
If he's got like a unibrow and different colored eyes and he's looking mean, it looks like a dude, get the hell out of there.
Meet them on a street corner, drive up. If it's not them, just keep driving.
Right,
that's how you do it. Yeah.
Good answer. All right, well, there you go, Abdul. That's how you do it. All right, Anastasio from Larissa, Greece writes, how many dates does it take before I can fart in front of my girlfriend?
Okay, that's just fart in front, like not fart in bed, because that's even worse.
Yeah, no, don't do
Okay,
that.
so just fart, like in general public fart.
Just like
Okay.
let one slip out.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's probably like date 2. You can get away with that.
Date 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you can be like, hold on, just stay here for a second, and then kind of take a couple steps in the other direction, and just go wah, and then come back.
Do you have to say? Do you have to say anything, or do you just not say anything?
No, you don't say anything. You kind of got to keep your distance still. But if it's in bed, it's got to be at least like 4 or 5. You got to get really comfortable with someone before you let it rip in bed.
Good answer. There you go, Anastasio. Next question comes from Randeep from Churu, India, writes, marry, fuck, kiss. Courtney Cox, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kelly Clarkson.
Well, probably going Courtney Cox with the fuck out of those 3. I guess kiss Sarah Jessica Parker and marry Kelly Clarkson. I mean, Kelly Clarkson seems like she's way nicer than the other 2. so I could probably marry her. She seems like a Texas like mom that would be nice. I mean, you know, I wouldn't want to have sex with her, but she would be way easier to get along with. The other 2 seem like crazy, horrible, stuck-up actresses that you wouldn't want to be around at all.
I love it. And she's probably rich, too, because she's got her own show, and she could probably cook, so good answer. All right, moving on to the next question. Michael from Balaclava, Australia writes, is it okay to piss in public if you're bursting? Obviously not in the middle of the bus.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you have to, you can find an alley. If you're a guy, it's easy. You just find an alley. You just need 3 walls. Boom, boom, boom. And then your back turn. You can take a piss anywhere. It's great. New York, though, if you've ever been in New York, it's impossible to take a piss anywhere because there's always people everywhere. And you don't want to go down those alleys by yourself. That's like death wish.
And you don't want to get mugged with your dick out. That's
No.
gotta be the worst.
No. No, I couldn't live in New York, that fact alone. You go to the Starbucks and it smells like someone's taking 17 shits in there, and it's like no one ever cleans it, and it's disgusting, and those are like the best ones. And like, it's just everywhere is dirty and gross.
If you were in the middle of the bus and it was New York, could you take a piss?
No. There are scary fucking people in New York, and you don't want to have your pants down ever. Ever. You never want to have your pants down in New York. In public.
Recipe for disaster.
Right.
All right. Well, good question, Michael. But yeah, you should be able to find a place wherever you need.
Anywhere outside of Manhattan.
It's a big range.
Right.
All right. Just stay the fuck out of New York, Michael. All right.
Right, exactly.
All right. Moving on. Sarik from Kokhtal, Kazakhstan. If you woke up and you were a woman, what is the first thing you would do?
Well, I would be fucking in shock that I don't have a dick anymore. How would you get over that? You'd be reaching down there for it, it wouldn't be there.
Would you have to go look in the mirror?
Yeah. You have to go look in the mirror like you're Buffalo Bill and be like, oh. Hey, what happened? Oh, man.
Look at these.
Yeah. And play, what, Good White Horses, or what that song is?
And then what would you do?
I couldn't get over the shock. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, moving on to the next question. Kurt from McMurdo Station, Antarctica writes, if you were in a witness protection program, what would be your new name and where would you go?
my new name would be Kurt, and I'd live in Antarctica. Is that not the perfect place? No one's ever gonna fucking find you there.
Nobody.
Is that why you asked that question?
I could be if your name is Kurt.
There you go, Kurt. from Antarctica. I'd be Kurt from Antarctica.
Great answer. Great question. And there's your answer, Kurt. You just lost
Perfect.
your identity.
Perfect witness protection program, please. Yeah. Oh,
You should be pretty safe. Not a lot of people hanging out in Antarctica. All right. Next question comes from Badrick from Ewerton, Jamaica writes, why is my girlfriend always mad at me for what I did in her dreams?
Oh, well, because they're probably manifestations of what's going to happen in real life. So, so that's probably why.
Are women clairvoyant? Like, do they know that it's coming?
With the bad things, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
She knows. She knows,
Right.
buddy. She knows.
Yeah, she knows you're cheating. Yep.
You're in big trouble.
Sorry.
If it hasn't happened, it's gonna happen.
Right. Sorry to rat you out. If she's dreaming about it, that means you're doing it. Yep.
You're finished. She's not your girlfriend anymore, so get over it. Moving on to the next question. Marco from Batrina, Croatia writes, would you still date Megan Fox if you found out she was a transgender?
No. That's the deal breaker. It's like when you reach down and there's a cock down there, that's the deal breaker.
Would you give her the old Crocodile Dundee and just be like, huh? Just grab it?
Yeah, you do the old Crocodile Dundee. Somebody's got to come warn you, like, hey, that's a man you're talking to over there. Like, what?
She's beautiful.
Yeah. You got to do the Crocodile
Doesn't
Dundee.
matter.
Yeah. The Crocodile Dundee handshake. And just like,
Gotta go.
Yep.
Something came up. See you later. All right. Gabriella from Loreto, Mexico writes, if you are waiting in line at the supermarket and you fart and everybody notices, is it okay to blame the person behind you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. You always go like this and you go, huh? You never take fucking blame if you can get away with it. You always just kind of look over there and look at other people and you're like, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be associated with that.
That's disgusting.
Oh, yeah. You always pass that one off.
I'm trying to buy food here.
Yeah.
Good question, Gabriella. Definitely blame the guy behind you or the girl, whoever's close. Or even the guy ringing it up. Jesus Christ, can you just ring up my groceries? All right, moving on to the next question. Zhai Hiao from Jingtang, China. Who would be a better driver, a 35-year-old woman or an 83-year-old man?
Well, it depends on the country.
China.
That's a rough one because I don't think they let 35-year-old women drive in China, and you don't live that long if you're a man. So, is that like a trick question?
It seems like a break-even question. Both bad drivers.
Yeah. That's like a trick question. One doesn't exist, and one's not allowed to drive. So I guess it's a 50-50
Just
coin.
they cancel each other out. It's like,
Yeah, it's a coin toss.
there you go. Nobody
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
You both need to stay off the road.
Right.
That was a good answer.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. David from Waco, Texas writes, if you started a cult, what would it be called? And would you tell everyone you're Jesus?
You mean like a Koresh Davidian?
Cult Brian.
Yeah. What was the question? If I started a cult, would I call myself Jesus?
If you started a cult, what would it be called? And
Uh-huh.
would you tell everyone you were Jesus?
Oh, yeah. You would be a Brianian. And and of course I'd call him Jesus. What's the whole point? It's the whole point of starting a cult. You gotta be the chosen one. Otherwise, you don't start a cult and be like, well, I'm not really the chosen one. But you want to follow me anyways?
Has anyone seen Jesus?
Yeah. We'll be on the path to find Jesus.
What are we supposed to do? I need some direction.
Right. Right, exactly. So
what would be your first order as cult leader, Jesus, Brian?
everyone would serve you. Like, yeah, you'd have all the benefits. The whole benefit of starting a cult is that everyone does everything for you.
I love it. Great answer. Great answer. All right. Next question comes from Elijah from Zahar, Jordan. What sport would be the funniest to add a mandatory amount of alcohol to?
I'd say hockey, probably.
See more fights.
Yeah. I mean, you already have fights. You might as well have drunken fights. It'd make it even better. Because then the brawls would be drunken brawls. It'd be like bar fights. So, yeah.
That sounds good. I like it. Well, there you go, Elijah. Hockey is your answer. All right, moving on to Emmanuel from Malat, Haiti writes, what would you do if you were at someone's house and you accidentally broke the urn with their loved one's ashes in it?
Do I have time? Do I have time to clean it up?
We'll say 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes. What are you going to do?
I would clean it up, hope they wouldn't notice, and then bring back an urn later. Otherwise, they just think it disappeared.
Would you try and put it all back in, or would you sweep it somewhere else?
Yeah, well, you gotta sweep it up, put it in the trash, you know.
So you're bringing back a new urn with fake ashes.
Yeah, you just gotta know what the urn looks like. They'll never know.
And if you only had 30 seconds, what are you going to do?
Well, then you might just have to say, sorry.
I broke your urn?
Yeah.
You got me.
I did it.
It was me.
You just have to admit it at that point. You have no time. Can't talk your way out of it. Just be like, sorry.
Good thing is they're already dead, so
Yeah,
they won't feel
right.
anything.
Yeah, sorry.
I love it. All right, well, that's all the time we got today for Dear Brian. And Brian, do you have a tip of the week for us?
If you watch The Masked Singer, you need to reevaluate your life choices. My tip is don't watch The Masked Singer.